through the streets of Soho in the rain.
He was looking for a place called Lee Hall Forks. Gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Everybody!
Ahoo, where was London? Ahoo, ahoo, where was London? Ahoo,
All aboard that's coming aboard the freight train of truth.
and howling around your kitchen door.
Leaving MAGA station, the Mike Church Show is on via the Crusade Radio and Railway Network. Maybe we can try and make the trains run on time. This portion of the program brought to you by Bulldog Kia for the best deal on a newer used Kia anywhere in North America. Shop where I shop for all of my cars at BulldogKia.com on the Atlanta Highway. They will deliver to you no matter where you live in the continental lower 48 U.S. True story. So do business with those who are doing business with your favorite radio channel, the Crusade Channel. Go to BulldogKia.com today. We'll see you at Bulldog Kia. You tell them I sent you. Welcome in all of you listening on our wonderful flagship station, 1010 WXKG, The King in Atlanta, Georgia. Am I doing this announcement live? This segment. You want me to do it now? You sure?
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Okay, so do I have rapt attention in the chat room, or certain individuals holding court in there with their own agendas and topics? Okay, quickly, before I do that, April crowdfunding needs your attention. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Who made the $50 donation? Let me thank him.
Abram Gettelfinger.
Oh, I know him. Abram Gettelfinger. He came to the second Congress, I want to say. Had a little baby with him and his wife. Thank you, Abram. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Seriously. Need to get lots of donations today. $5 is the minimum, but 500 works a lot better. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Okay. Lots going on here, folks, and I hate to spend airtime doing these things, but from time to time, we need to, and I think it's actually pretty cool. So, what, are you going to ball all over it, or are you going to open it? Bum, 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 bum. After much consideration and counseling with the Crusaders High Council, and talking amongst ourselves, and then kind of analyzing what we have been doing for the last 8 years. Remember, we started this in November of 2015, and here we are. But we are no closer to the goal of taking over the world than we were in 2015. So we began asking our most generous and most active and most sagacious and wise listeners, and those that have previously volunteered to help around here, what are we doing wrong, guys? What do you think? And we put a super council together this week, and we had a meeting last night. It just so happened that yesterday, Justin and I watched the rollout of the tech survey, the Radio Tech Survey 2024 from Fred Jacobs at Radio Online. And I know this may sound like inside baseball, but I am going somewhere with it. There's some really interesting and cool things that are happening out there. Not everything is as dire as everyone thinks it is, especially when it comes to broadcast radio, into internet radio, or into digitally streaming radio. So here is the big deal. Now, this won't affect you that are Founders Pass members. This will have status quo for you. You'll be almost invisible to you. Nothing will change. So don't worry your little hearts over this. But for all of those people that you have tried to woo over here to the Crusade Channel with gift memberships, free memberships, all of the ruses that we have attempted, we have come to the conclusion that the number one stumbling block to making a regular, infatuated, hooked, and addicted crusader, like so many thousands of you are, is the paywall. Now, the paywall serves a monumental purpose, and it keeps the business going and on air. So we're not ditching the paywall, but putting the live radio station stream on the paywall is an impediment that apparently, no matter how hard we try, people just cannot and will not overcome. I think 6 years of experience would we intend to back that up. And so, beginning Monday, actually today, but you won't get the U-Boob variety until Monday. But beginning Monday, anyone that goes to CrusadeChannel.com, now you will still, if you're not logged in, you'll still get something that's called a preview stream, but it's a copy of the premium stream. So from 6 a.m., actually from midnight to noon. So for 12 hours every day, the Crusade Channel radio station stream, the best little radio station, talk radio, news talk station, entity, whatever you want to call it, in the entire world, and all of you know it, is going to be free at high quality for anyone that wants to listen to it. Anytime, anywhere, they want to tune in. Here is the cool part. So when you go to CrusadeChannel.com from now on, during that time, you want to listen live, doesn't matter whether you're logged in or not, you're going to get the same stream. So those of you that have issues with, well, I'm not logged in, I'm not getting it, you won't have that issue any longer. Now at noon, we revert back to the stream goes behind the paywall because we run reruns of everything that airs in the morning. So you'd have to be a member to get it from noon to midnight, okay? We will begin simulcasting the radio station stream to U-Boob starting Monday. So I could show you the research numbers from Fred Jacobs and others. The second most popular way to listen to digital radio stations, believe it or not, is through YouTube. I didn't believe it. I was going, really? And then Maggie called our son up yesterday and told him the good news. He goes, Mom, that's all all the radio I consume is either AM, FM, a station that I like, or if I'm out on the road, it's through YouTube. So I didn't, and then so you can't move Muhammad to the mountain and bring the mountain to Muhammad. So, and I hate to use it as an example. So beginning Monday, and look, there'll be other streams. We will also do the live stream on other streaming services, like TuneIn. If you have the TuneIn app, you want to listen to the TuneIn app. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it through Substack, but they don't have live capability. I can embed a link on Substack, and I might. But you can't actually embed like a player. Our app, the Crusade Channel app, guys, we paid for this. The developers have completely and totally botched the job. You can ask Scott Resnick. He's been with me every step of the way, and they can't seem to get out of their own way. But the app is there, and it's like one step away, and it is instant, one button. You log in. Of course, you wouldn't have to log in now to get the live stream. You open that app up, the first thing you'll see on it is welcome, and you want to proceed as a guest or as a member. And when starting Monday, no matter what you choose, that play button at the bottom of that app, which works on every phone ever made, will relay the high-quality stream. So we'll do a press release on this. We'll do an email that will go out. Please go and sign up. All of you that are listening, go to find the Crusade Radio Network on YouTube and go become a free subscriber because this is going nowhere without at least 1,000 to start to unlock some of the features on YouTube. And Mike Parrott is going to actually let us use his Restoring the Faith Media YouTube channel, which has 30,000 subscribers on it. So, a big move here, a bold move, but we believe something that will put the Crusade Channel radio product into many people's cars or into their... By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but we are on Alexa currently. If If you have an Alexa box, go walk up to it right now and say, Alexa, play the Crusade Radio Network. And Alexa will go, okay. And then she'll tell you there's a phrase that I had to put in. The AI generates a voice that tells you you are about to listen to the world's greatest radio station featuring the Mike Church Show is what it says. And then we will play. We will be available as soon as I can find out how it makes and how to do it. What is the Google box called? There's an Alexa, and then I want to say that Google makes one that does pretty much the same thing that Alexa does. Is it called Home? What's going to say? In any event, the radio station has been... Yeah, the Google Home. The radio station has been liberated. Now, that's just the radio station stream. If you want a podcast, if you missed the first hour, the only way you're going to get it, unless you're logged in as a member, is to become a member. The podcast will be available, or the rebroadcast on the premium stream. So at noon, the preview stream will turn into a pumpkin, and we'll play mysteries on Monday, terror on Tuesday, Westerns on Wednesday, sci-fi on Thursday, and creature feature on Friday. So, big news, good news, we think, we hope. Tell all your friends and family. Remember that radio station I told you had to listen to and you couldn't get it to work on? You're going, yeah, you can get it to work now. You should start listening on your way to work or when you're out bringing the kids to wherever. It's that easy. And as I said, beginning Monday, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you'll have it on your YouTube app. So, we made the deal with the devil then. We fought the man for 7 years. No, we didn't make a deal with the devil. We fought the man for 8 years. Maggie goes, can we stop fighting the man and just, try and survive? Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I will send an email out that backs all this up later today. Let's start at the top. We have lots of digital media files to get to here. Let's talk about what happened in the Supreme Court hearing yesterday. Digital media file number 1, Justice Sotomayor. I agree with the legal eagles that say that the Supremes are either going to side with Trump, 1, for blanket immunity, less likely. More likely, say, send it back to Judge Chatka and tell her, these are the things that you must answer, and you must answer them specifically. And so when the highest court in the land smacks you down and go no, you sent lazy work up here. We're not doing the work for you. You need to do the work. And then as soon as she does, Trump's going to appeal that. It's going right back to the Supreme Court. But here are some of what the arguments were on. I think it's just interesting, historically speaking, because it's never happened before. 234 years under the Constitution, not one president has ever tried to prosecute his predecessor until now.
But it has to be proven. What is happening?
What is happening?
Can be
There it
alleged,
is.
but it has to be proven. Malum in se is a concept long viewed as appropriate in law, that there's some things that are so fundamentally evil that they have to be protected against. Now, I think, and your answer below, I'm going to give you a chance to say if you stay by it. If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person,
This is so
and
convoluted
he
and so
orders
stupid.
the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts that for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
He could, and why? Because he's doing it for personal reasons. He's not doing it like President Obama is alleged to have done it, to protect the country from a terrorist. He's doing it for personal gain. And isn't that the nature of the allegations here? That he's not doing these acts in furtherance of an official responsibility. He's doing it for personal gain.
I agree with that characterization of the indictment, and that confirms immunity, because the characterization is that there's a series of official acts that were done for an unlawful.
No, because immunity says even if you did it for personal gain, we won't hold you responsible. How could that be?
Now, that scenario is completely and totally redonkulous. It's preposterous. But there you heard it. Well, what if he wants to attack? She's talking about Trump, obviously. This is the Crusade Radio Network. Obviously, she's talking about Trump. Even though nothing of the sort had happened, and he had if he wanted to have Obama assassinated, he had 4 years to do it. Now, there is a president out there that I would be very fearful of who probably is trying to have his rival assassinated, if not directly assassinated. At least he is trying then to assassinate his character. So who would this actually apply to? It would apply to Biden. But that was one of the hypothetical arguments, which is why when people are going like, I don't think that what's happening here today. No, they're grasping at straws. What John Roberts said is probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to be sent back down, and then that judge is going to have to make up some, and she'll have to make it up because it's never happened before, some sort of rule. And then that will be that. So just thought I would, we'll start with that one. Now, you Ketanji Brown, Justice Parrott goes even further around in the left field. I'm listening to this, and I just pulled the plug on it yesterday. I came on, I said, I think you guys would be better off listening to Parrott talk than you ever would any of this nonsense. So I'm not going to play the entire Ketanji Brown clip. Here's a part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Justice Jackson?
So I think I now understand better your position. In your discussions with Justice Kavanaugh, it became clear that you are saying that for the private acts of a president, there's no immunity, but for the official acts of the president, there is immunity. Is that your position?
I agree with that.
All right. So one thing that occurs to me is that this sort of difficult line drawing problem that we're having with all of these hypotheticals, is this a private act or a public act, is being necessitated by that assumption. Because of course, if official acts didn't get absolute immunity, then it wouldn't matter. We wouldn't have to identify which are private and which are public, correct?
That, in fact, is the approach of the D.C. Circuit. There's no determination that needs to be made.
Right, but I'm just making, so to the extent we're worried about, like, how do we figure out whether it's private or public, we have to understand that we're only doing that because of an underlying assumption that the public acts get immunity. So let me explore that assumption. Why is it, as a matter of theory, and I'm hoping you can sort of zoom way out here.
All right, enough. Anyway, why is it a matter of theory? We're not talking about theory. Justice Roberts, to his credit, intervenes. He goes, we're not dealing with theory here. We're not dealing with hypotheticals. We better be very careful about how we rule on this, because this has never before happened. Let's let the adults in the room speak. Trump's attorney, John Sauer, number 3. Who pretty much says what I just told you. Well, what you're describing is what we've had for 234 years, ma'am.
Benjamin Franklin said, as we view the prosecution of a chief executive as something that everybody cried out against as unconstitutional. And what George Washington said is, we're worried about factional strife, which will...
No, let me put this worry on the table. If the potential for criminal liability is taken off the table, wouldn't there be a significant risk that future presidents would be emboldened to commit crimes with abandon while they're in office. It's right now the fact that we're having this debate because OLC has said that presidents might be prosecuted. Presidents from the beginning of time have understood that that's a possibility. That might be what has kept this office from turning into the kind of crime center that I'm envisioning. But once we say no criminal liability, Mr. President, you can do whatever you want, I'm worried that we would have a worse problem than the problem of the president feeling constrained to follow the law while he's in office.
You want to be worried about Biden, ma'am. You're describing Joseph Robinette Biden.
Is the regime we've operated under for 234 years. There has not been an expectation based on 234 years of unbroken political.
All right, let me ask you another question.
It says shut up. Stop the tape. Shut the up. Well, let me ask you another hypothetical question. What is it with these people and their dreams? They project all of their diabolical and sinister plans on us. Well, this is we had presidents. Somebody brought up, I saw one of the tweets that I saw about this. Using her and Sotomayor, these two quack dingbats, using their two sets of illogic passing as, or being passed off as logic, or as judicial reasoning, you say. Jimmy Carter could have thrown the book, appointed a special prosecutor, and could have prosecuted Gerald R. Ford for pardoning Nixon. This would have been presidential misconduct of the highest order. He would have violated that statute by if what they're saying is correct, by the clear language of it. And I forget who it was that said this, but like Ford could have been prosecuted by Carter. Here's another one. Bush could have prosecuted Reagan for Iran-Contra. And now that's coming from me. Justice Thomas or Alito didn't say that. But am I the only one that remembers the Iran-Contra? What did President Reagan do? No, I don't know that Reagan was wrong about this. I mean, it turns out, historically speaking, that it was a pretty dumb thing to do. But at the time, what was the gist of the Iran-Contra was to get money from one source and funnel it to another, like kind of on the black ledger, to bring about a net good. But that's a deal that was pretty much privately made. Could Bush 43 or 41 have gone in there and prosecuted Reagan for Iran-Contra? Well, using Jack Smith, Biden, and the rest of the leftard left's reasoning, hell yeah, he could have. He might have even won, who knows? Now, it ought to be interesting to people that has never come up. 234 years and not one time. There was also this case, and I didn't know about this, I had to look this up, where Justice Thomas talked about the, what was the case of, I have it open here somewhere. I'd never heard of it before. Operation Mongoose. You want to know what that is? Well, you're going to have to stick around because we'll be right back. Now, time for you to go to CrusadeChannel.com/donate.